What's good, guys? David Action Jackson coming at you live representing Action Jack Fitness. So I just got off work not too long ago. And I want to show you guys real quick a couple of the exercises I've been doing recently. For like my back and my legs, and also my traps. Um, Now it's basic, like just basic exercises, but how I'm doing them is somewhat complex in the sense that I'm using, like, kind of utilizing the leg press on my home gym because, or at least my bench. Um, I'm using this more uh, to do like rows and shrugs and also like squats. Um, Somewhat sumo squats. Now, I wouldn't do regular squats like regular behind the neck squats, but I don't have like the well, how do I put this? How my bar is set up, basically, I don't have like the whole like the enough arm room to really like put my hands like at a proper positioning. And so for me, like if I were to do behind the neck or yeah, behind the neck squats, it kind of feel weird. And then given my range of motion with my pacemaker, it's just like it kind of just feels awkward doing them. But I'm gonna show you guys real quick um, how I do essentially like sumo squats. Now I could just do them like regular squats, but I feel like with these after a couple of sets you feel it. This is similar to going to failure, but this is like way more complex than what it looks like. um there's a couple of things that you have to like remember. First, there's hand positioning, because I'm holding the the pads. I have to hold the pads, and you need grip. Like, you need like grip. Gotta be able to like really like grab them and keep your hands in place, because if they slide, like it's gonna be like constant sliding. But when you get the like the hang of it, then it's not as bad. So I'm gonna show you guys these three movements, and you'll see how I'm doing them, because they aren't like super complex, but they're not exactly like, how to put this, that you can do them. Like, anybody can do these. The rep range, the set range, those things you can decide for yourself. Typically, I do between like I want to say like 20 or 30 sets of like each of these exercises. Rep wise, I just try to do as many as I can. So I basically just go to failure. Um, Now I won't say it's exactly easy, because eventually, like, you start to feel it, and it's kind of deep. So, but yeah, I'll show you guys these exercises. I do hope that if you happen to have like a home gym, or like a just a bench in general. I've had this bench since 2000, and I want to say like 11 or 12, probably like 2012. um I've had it for a while. I got it when I first went into college. um this and some of the weights I have were like some of the first things, like fitness wise, besides like my indoor gyms, that I've had. And I figure, after all the years that I've had this, because I probably could like been doing these a long time ago, but I didn't think about it at the time. You could build a big back with like different movements. Um, yes, substitution is a common thing when it comes to like lifting weights, because there might be exercises that you can and probably can't do. There's some that you will and won't do. These, I feel like if you work out at home and you have a bench, if your bench is stable, then you could totally do these. It's totally fine. They're good. good exercises. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys real quick how I do them, and then if you want to give me a thumbs up, I appreciate it. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate that too. If you want to comment down below and like let me know if you find these interesting or if you might be able to do these yourself, then that'd be great too. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so first off, I want to do. I want to say since I'm standing, I probably should do like squats. Now, when it comes to like doing like these types of squats, the one thing you want to like first try to establish is like where to put the pads, because you want to stand with your feet kind of like shoulder width apart. Actually, yeah. So you start off with shoulder width apart, and then you got kind of put your feet just beyond like shoulder width, um, because you want to be able to like drop down and come back up, drop down and come back up, like as if you were doing a a stationary squat, or if the squat bar is like stuck, um, and you just have to like re-rack it or like kind of swing the bar forward, like so if it hooks on and off. I don't know what that's called, but I know a lot of gyms have that. But yeah, so the Smith machine. But yeah, so this is basically what I do. So the first thing is I position my feet. Um, Now I go a little bit beyond. I want to say um, like beyond shoulder width, probably like a good half a foot away from my shoulder. Um, and what I do is I kind of lean forward a little bit, and then just kind of get in like a football stance. And what you want to do is you're gonna hold the pad, and just lift. Now, it after I want to say a couple of sets of doing that, eventually you're gonna feel it in your teardrop and like the outside of your quads. It is a very decent exercise. I've been using it the last couple of months. I want to say it has helped me because I haven't had like a lot of leg workouts. Essentially, I haven't really been doing like regular leg presses and like hamstring curls or anything like that. I just been doing like squats like this, and it just kind of helps a little bit because the thing about like doing legs is when you have cramps, you want to be careful like the types of motions that you do to kind of avoid that. Now, am I afraid that I'll get a cramp while I'm doing these? A little bit. I'm a little bit afraid because there's certain movements that I try to avoid, um, to kind of prevent me from getting cramps. But yeah, so there's that rep range and set range. Uh, I feel like you probably just like decide where you want the rep to be, like from 6 to 8 or like 8 to 10, and then sets wise, you can do basically as many as you want or as little as you want, and just like adjust it to however you want to adjust it to. Um, the only like I won't say limit that I feel comes with this is the amount of weight that you can put on here. Now I have 50 pounds right here. I could put a lot more weight on here. I have bigger plates, but when I first began to do these, I just tested out the exercise because I did try sumo squats at the gym before I stopped going, and I honestly couldn't really like get the hang of them because I know you can lift a whole lot more squat like weight with the sumo squats, but you're limited to the range of motion that you do. But anyway, so that's the what I've been doing for like squats. Now the next thing is shrugs. Everybody can do shrugs. Anybody, everyone can do shrugs. The only thing is, what you're not trying to do is roll your shoulders. The only motion that you should be doing, and I know there's like trap bar, shrug or what, trap bar deadlifts, and like other stuff like that. But essentially, all you're doing is kind of flexing the the trapezius muscle, which is basically this muscle right here, your traps. You're just doing this. And I know, like, for a lot of people, this is a common thing where your upper lip just moves. One of the things I do is I bite my lip. When I'm doing bite, I put my lips together like this, and then I just like go like that. Now, it's a common thing. I think it's a muscle thing, like a muscle connectivity thing. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure because I'm not an expert, but it's just something that happens. So essentially, all you're gonna do is oh, so you're gonna come in here, lean forward a little bit, like basically get the same stance almost, and what you're doing is you're gonna keep your hands tightly around the pad, and what you're gonna do is go straight up, and that's it. So all you're doing is just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now the amount of weight that I want to go and just like point out, it doesn't have to be like a whole lot of weight because the emphasis is just your traps. That's it. That's the only emphasis is the traps. Um, the reason why I want to say grip is important is because you're basically trying to like keep your hands as tight as possible towards each other. Like they'll kind of keep them in a neutral position, but keep them in that position throughout the whole motion. Because if you happen to like move them in the slightest degree, like this, the smallest movement to like the sides, um, the pads start coming, like they start separating, and you don't want let go of that because it's gonna make a really loud sound. I could put like a pad or something right here, but it's kind of cushioned on its own. Um, you guys could see, like right here, there's a little like kind of stopper thing to keep that from like making this loud sound. Still makes a loud sound, but it's not as loud. But anyways, so I typically do. I want to say, like maybe 15 to 20 sets of traps. I just started working on my traps. I want to say from like November to now. I don't know if they got any bigger because I mean I'd like to develop my traps to so I get like a cobra kind of thing going on, or a silverback action. But yeah, that's pretty much how I've been doing traps. Um, Next thing that I want to go over is rows. Now, when it comes to rows, because I know people have like there, I know there's different bars and like different types of exercises that you can do for rows. When it comes to this is literally one movement. Now I could go and connect up my resistance band, or I could just literally just go with my door gym, but I prefer to just do this because this is like at least it's weight related, and I don't really have to like do much. The only thing is you have to keep your hands in like a more neutral grip, and you're just pulling, like you're pulling towards your stomach. And here, I'll show you guys what that motion looks like. So most people already know how to do rows. If you already know how to do rolls, then this portion of the video isn't for you, but you can still pay attention to it. So the focus is like the lats. That's the main focus. The latissimus dorsi, which is right here. And like it starts up at the beginning, like at the top of the back, um, just under the traps, and it works its way down to the middle of the back. And it's a really thick muscle. But which there's three. I want to say like it kind of looks like a cobra in a way, like the back of a cobra. And so what you're doing is because that's where the wings are. That's like your wings. That's all right here. That's what gives you that V taper look. Um, it's actually shaped like that, but yeah. So what you're doing is you're essentially you have the like a pulley or a handle, and you're pulling. Now you can either be leaning forward and do like low rolls, or you could do high rolls, which is like the ones where you can pull them down like that. Um, and it all three of those motions, like you're just sitting right here and you're pulling it towards your stomach, or you're pulling it down towards your chest, or you're pulling it, you're like leaning forward and pulling it more up towards like your chest, too, lower your lower, like the lower part of your stomach. Um, and yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like right now. I'm gonna just slide y'all right there. Okay. So what I do is typically like you sit. You sit on the bench like as if you're gonna do like a regular movement. And basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the pads. Now I generally would if it came down to it, like between holding the bar itself and the pads, I'd rather much just hold the pads because my grip isn't that strong. It's strong, but it ain't that strong. So what you're doing is you're gonna get a full stretch. Just lean forward slightly, like not like a super like ultra leaning forward. Because I've seen some people where they go like this and then they come back. No. So what you're doing is you keep your feet planted because you want to be able to like pull. You want to drive your feet into the ground. And what you're doing is coming back and just rowing. And if if you don't really like feel it as much, because I think that if you can feel the exercise and like the muscle connectivity, so like my muscle connection, if that's a thing for you, then you adjust the weight accordingly. And that's one of the things that I do. Like if I'm at the gym and I need to like feel a movement a little bit more, sometimes you have to lower the weight. And sometimes you might raise the weight. Um, this this isn't that bad. Like it's not that bad. I could probably put more on here, but since I'm at home, I don't have like a super lot of weight. But I can still do this. Now you have to make sure that if you do rows, um, because I've seen it happen, uh, at least once or twice. Like outside of like just videos, I've seen things in real life that I swear, if if I gotta avoid things like how what I've seen, I'm talking about injuries because I've seen a number of different injuries happen. Like I've seen people break their neck. Um, I've seen legs get broken, arms get broken, pec tendons tearing, bicep tendons tearing. I saw one person actually detach their tricep from the bone, and it. Some of these injuries are the scariest things that anybody could ever like see or go through. Um, but yeah, so those are the movements that I've been doing recently. Um, if you do happen to find this video helpful, please hit that like button as well as subscribe. If you want to like see any other videos or like check out my like reviews or anything like that, feel free to do so. I just got back to YouTube after like 5 months, And yeah, I'm David Action Jackson coming at you live representing Action Jack Fitness. I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm out.